Actually, I firmly believe that in a team, you need to have every types of personalities, because if a team has like everyone is a type 3, I tell you, it is going to be chaos.
So actually, after you found out that you are type 3, right, do you like subconsciously make an effort to balance yourself out?
Yes, I do. Because one
share some example?
One example that because actually Enneagram allowed me to become more self-reflective, right? So a lot of the actions that I do, then I start to think, hey, is it common sense to me and is it common sense to the other party or not? May not be, right? Then I better tweak a bit. So an example is, for example, I have an assistant right in office. Sometimes I get frustrated personally because I do things very fast, and I actually tick my to-do list quite quickly, like usually, right? And at times I feel that, how come I
finish faster than?
Yeah, I can finish something that I can finish in 30 minutes, right? But for certain people, it takes 2 hours. Because I personally cannot understand. Then after reflecting, I realized that, actually, the other person might have already put in all their effort. But it's just that they are not as good as us, or not as fast, or not as proficient at that particular task, right, as us. Doesn't mean they're not putting effort,
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
So then I started to reflect and, okay, maybe give thanks, give appreciation a bit more. And it worked, because after which my assistant texted me, hey boss, thanks for saying thank you.
Thanks for the affirmation.
I also feel that, okay, actually it does work. And it helped me to grow as a person as well.
Yeah, working relationship is better as well.
Yes, exactly. So really it's more of a self-development and self-discovery journey for me.
So now that, so you, just now that you talk about like your assistant and how you interact with him or her like in the workplace. So how do you use like this personality tests and such profiling to understand like the people that you work with? So for example, like when you hire your assistant, do you also ask him or her to do like a personality test also?
Not yet, but soon. Yes, soon. And actually, because to me is understanding the other party, you don't have to do a test to know the core types sometimes, right? Because for example, my kids, right, I also sort of know their types and character, and a lot of things after I understand that, it makes a lot of sense, their actions that followed. So like to answer your question, it helped me to work better with my clients, with my colleagues, because as a personal example, for example, type 6, right? Somebody whose core motivation is fear. Fear of doing something wrong, or doing something that may lead to certain consequences, right? So what will happen, what they will usually do is to ask a lot of questions, right? For some people, they will probably feel that, hey, you don't trust me, is it? Why you keep asking me repeatedly certain
some people get
questions?
offended.
Yeah, then you ask one time already, then after 1 week you ask again, and after 1 week, hey, 你是不是不相信我?
There's a lot of convincing.
Is it me? But after understanding Enneagram and this person might be a loyalist or maybe a type 6, then I'll be thinking, I'll be more accepting. You ask me more questions, and if I can answer it properly and consistently, right, your trust is there. So that helped me to reflect on myself again. Once again, as I said, it's not so much how we tweak a person's character because of a certain type to match us, but how we actually work better with them. And how we are more accepting of,
to be more aware about the people that you are hanging out with. Yeah.
Because to me, it may be common sense that I thought I understand this one time and I'm convinced that I can go already, but it's not common sense to others, right? Who needs more data, who needs more deeper understanding of certain affirmation, right? In order to confirm their understanding of it.
So do you think that hiring managers should use like personality tests to like filter out candidates, for example, or like use it for the onboarding process? Because I have this friend that, so she recently joined a new company, and then as part of her onboarding process, they use a personality test also, but it's using, I'm not sure whether you read this book before, it's called Surrounded by Idiots. They separate like personality types according to color. So like red is like aggressive, then green is something. Yeah, then they will have a 9-page report on, like, for example, for managers to understand how to communicate with them, or like know their skills and like their weaknesses and know where to place them, something like that. So do you think that they should use it?
I personally feel that it is useful, but not in the way that to filter people,
Candidates,
because actually I firmly believe that in a team you need to have every types of personalities, because if a team has like everyone is a type 3, I tell you it is going to be chaos, because everybody want to achieve something, will want to outperform each other, and at the end, if the goals are not aligned, then it will be there will not be team dynamics. Then for certain types, actually there are complementary types as well, because I have very close colleague. I have a very close colleague who's like Jaslyn, type 5, right? So I'm someone who's very big picture. I'm very conceptual, and I actually think of a lot of big picture concepts on how to make things work. But my colleague will then compliment me by giving me the data, because that's where a lot of times the data makes will appeal to people who are more data driven, right or not? So it has to be a mix. The type 6, like yourself, you are a group of people who are very good with SOPs. Right, because you think of all angles, all worst case scenarios and everything, right? And then you have that SOP in place. So actually, I do have very close, which is why I can also share a bit about your your motivations and everything, because I do have colleagues who are type 6, and I rely on them a lot to come up with very good SOPs on training, on guidance, right? And so this actually shows that we need different personality in the group. We need peacemaker, we need a type 9. Why? Because if everybody is all strong, then who's going to be the mediator? Really,
all hell break loose.
Exactly. My closest colleague is a type 9, and he balances me out, because I need more chill, he needs more action. So we motivate each other in that sense. Yeah.
You need a type 5 also. Deeply analyze.
Exactly. Then help to analyze and okay, let's take action. And let's go let's do it.
So you are the action pack. Like after you collect everything already, we send Sean go.
Yes. I am someone who is more action driven, and but that also has its downside, right? Because if you take too much action and you don't think of the consequences, then you will probably hit a lot of walls, right? So that's why the key is to have a balance. So having and knowing different the types of your colleagues, your teammates, I think is very important. It's not so much to so that we can leverage on their strength. Yes, that's one, but it's also how we can then adjust ourselves, right, to work better with them. Yeah,
like adjust communication styles or like all that stuff, right? Then does it differ, like, because now we've been talking about like colleagues and like teammates, then how about like employers or like, for example, even clients?
So for clients, for example, since we have type 5 and a type 6, right? So if, for example, I'm managing a client who's like Jaslyn, right? I will have to show a lot of data. Definitely. And I'm actually, even though I'm a type 3, right, my 5 is also not low. So for me, I'm also a very data logical person, because I was from life sciences, right, in NUS. So I'm a very logical step-by-step person, and I like to see data. So this is something that I can then leverage on my type 5 strength to then show data. Why a certain proposal makes sense, why the numbers make sense, and why is it logical, and how would we use it to complement whatever we have in our portfolios. Right? So this is how I would then manage a client or a staff who is a type 5. Right? Type 6, I would then be more patient when they ask more questions, because I do have colleagues who, like the example I shared, right, they will ask a lot of questions, but then now I don't take offense already. Because last time I used to be like, is it me? Is it because you don't trust me? But now I realize
my
that
presentation style is the
correct.
issue.
Is it
I need to work on something.
Yes, exactly. I used to think that is 是我吗? Right? Yeah. Is it me? But now I realize that it's not. So I become a bit more, I don't know why, but after I self-reflect on this, right, I realized that now I'm more accepting. Ask lor, it's okay. You asking means that you are interested in finding out more, right? And then I become more patient to then address some of these questions. And I can see that the trust is also stronger between us.
So relationships have also become better after knowing. So, because these are like, for example, how to achieve like a balanced team and all that stuff. But how about are there personality types that clash with each other in terms of working style? So, for example, let's say like type 5 a bit more introverted. Then maybe there is I forgot what's the bubbly kind of
type 7.
Yeah, type 7. Yeah,
Enthusiast.
Yeah, so like if they communicate with each other, then will there be any clashes?
Potentially yes, especially if both are not self-aware. Because when I was in the training, like with my colleagues, right, there are close colleagues who have been working many years with each other. There was an example, there was a type 5, then there's a type 7 and a type 3. The type 7 is an enthusiast, very excited, I want to try new things, want to do this, right? The type 3 also, okay, we can
Go.
just let's do it lor, right? Because the type 3 also has a bit of type 7. Then the type 5 is like, "Pure disturb don't disturb me." Yeah, because type 5s need their own space. So they actually ask the type 5 a question, right? Sometimes you leave for appointment, right? Then we like hi to you, right? Where you going? Close case, Then she will come back to them and obviously, right?
Why you still ask me?
Isn't it obvious?
I think my colleagues back after later my teammates when they watch this video were like, yeah, Jess is like that.
Ask them to take also.
You see, so it's actually very consistent, right? So it's like, isn't it obvious? Then they ask the question because they want to work better with each other because they're close colleagues, right? Then how can we work better with you? Then her reply was something that to me was very interesting. It was like, just let me be lor. I go, just let me go. Sometimes I just want my own space. Right? Then they're like, actually don't need to do anything one because the type 7 and type 3 they are a bit more action driven, right? They thought they are showing concern but she also understands their motivations now. It's not they trying to be nosy, but it's them showing their concern. So it's how the two sides understand each other a bit better. And even things like even more similar types like type 3 and type 8, because type 8 is a challenger, right? Also like their core emotion is anger. Actually, it's anger.
Okay.
So it's a gut. They are gut centered types lah, right? So actually, type 3 and type 8 we are quite similar, but our core motivation is different. So their core motivation is they want to protect. They want to protect things that are important to them, whereas our core motivation is we want to be successful. We avoid shame. Right, we avoid failure. So even though we can take the same, we are very action driven, but our motivation to take that action is different. And working with each other, I think when you say compatibility, right? Type 3 and type 8 can be compatible if we can understand each other well. Because why? All of us are very action driven. But the downside is if all our team is 3 and 8, the 8 will keep exploding.
Then
the 3
to come down.
The 3 will be never mind lah, just go lah, just move without them. Then who is there to then balance the team out, right?
How about like for example, because type 8 is more like the challenger, like the confrontational type, but maybe type 5 is more like the like maybe I don't know, like avoid difficult conversations or something like that. Then how do they resolve conflict, for example?
Good question. Type 8, right? When they are really, they want to protect something.
But type 8 wing type 9, right? So type 9 is a peacemaker. So is it will balance? I don't know.
It will. So the type 8 wing 9, right, are more balanced, but they feel more conflicted.
Whether to confront or not.
Yeah, because they will be like, it's in me, right, to I feel angry.
Okay.
But yet I don't want to cause conflict. So then they become very conflicted. So this type 9 wing 8, I have a colleague who's like this. She sometimes feels very conflicted because she will explode sometimes, right? But then after that, when she reflect back, right, then she's like, oh, I shouldn't do that. Then she will be very sayang to her people. After she explores, then she will be like, she'll do something like, oh, okay, you okay or not? And everything, because peacemaker ma. You want to make sure they are okay ma after that. So it helped her to also understand herself a bit better. It helped her to also, actually it's wasn't normal. I didn't know that. Now I know why I always feel very strongly about certain things. But she's a very good, when it comes to her team, she's very protective. Right? Like if somebody bullies her team or anything, then she'll be like, hey.
She'll stand up.
She'll stand up for it. Got aura one, the type 8. Really got aura one.
Okay.
Right? Lee Kuan Yew is a type 8.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
so that is you can tell the aura, right? The challenger, because he wants to protect Singapore. So that is something that they will stand up for lah. There's no one personality that will rule the world. No lah, I don't think so lah.